and welcome into To Your Health. You know, sound is very important in your life. In fact, we are surrounded in our life by sound. Even when you go to a movie theater, they have a thing called surround sound. That's getting sound all around you. But imagine if you lost your ability to hear. Many people, as they age, start to lose that ability to hear as much as they could when they were much younger. So today we have with us Glenda DeRamus. We're going to make you a McDonald's person here. DeRamus, and
Yes.
DeRamus Hearing Aid Center. And Glenda, we were talking earlier. You and I were talking about the fact that what happens to us as we age. We just have hearing loss that comes with age, don't we?
Well, it
For
normally
most people.
shows up when you get older,
Mm-hmm.
but it's caused by working around loud noises and shooting guns and anything that reaches high decibels of sound. When you're around that continuously for years, then your hearing loss is going to show up when you get older in your 50s and 60s.
Okay, so for our viewers, if you hit that 50-year-old age, what can we do even to tell our grandchildren how to maintain healthy ears?
Wear earplugs if you're cutting the grass, if you're using a weed eater, if you're shooting guns. Anything that reaches high decibels of sound is going to kill the nerves in the inner ear.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't have an instant problem, but it's there and it will show up in years later.
Right, and those nerves, once they're killed
dead,
off, they're dead. Absolutely.
That's correct.
So the hearing aid is a way of stimulating that nerve and giving it more health then, isn't it?
That's correct, because a lot of people wait and wait and wait until they really know they have a really serious problem. Then they come to me.
Mm-hmm.
But if they would come to me at the onset of the problem, then we can help them with hearing aids much, much better, because hearing aids actually stimulate the nerves in the inner ear to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And when that part of the brain is not getting stimulation from the hearing aid, your hearing loss gets worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
So don't wait.
Okay. And what about cleaning your ears? You know, people do it all the time, don't they?
Well, yes, some people have a lot of wax and some people
Yes.
don't.
Okay.
And you can just pick up a wax removal kit at the drugstore.
Mm-hmm. And that's the best thing to do there.
That's correct.
As opposed to just digging in there and trying to get all that out.
Yeah, you shouldn't put Q-tips in your ears. It pushes the wax further back into your ear.
Okay. And that could eventually affect those nerves too, couldn't it?
No, not really. The
Okay,
wax
good.
doesn't really hurt
Good.
the hearing loss at all. It just stops up your ears.
Okay. And that makes it hard. Almost like putting a piece of cotton.
That's correct.
That's the earplug you were talking about, trying to put in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
correct.
great. So if a person's starting to feel like they've got some kind of a hearing loss, and normally you said it's usually your spouse, if you're married, that'll recognize it. You know, I'll tell you another one to recognize is that your kids.
Your kids
Your
will
adult
notice.
children that are around you, and they'll say, I just told you that. And if they said, I just told you that, and you don't remember them saying it, it could be that you're not interested. You maybe just didn't hear it.
That's correct, because a lot of people with their hearing loss can hear one-on-one with no outside noise, can hear just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't really know they don't notice they have the problem. But let them go out to a restaurant where there's a lot of noise,
Yes.
then they have a problem understanding the spouse across the table from them, because they have a high frequency hearing loss.
Okay.
And so the children and the spouse starts noticing it probably long before the person that actually has the problem.
Yeah, that's when the background noise almost becomes foreground, doesn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
It
And then
takes over.
It takes over, and then you're just not going to be able to do anything with it. So when these things are happening, very easily you can recommend that they come in and have a hearing test. And that can start at any age. As
Yes.
soon as you realize the fact that maybe you're not quite as attuned to things as you were from your ears, you need to go ahead and have that hearing test, which is about an hour and a half test, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you, at your place, you do them for free.
No charge for the
No
hearing
charge.
test.
Okay.
And most of the time, before you leave my office, we will demo some hearing aids on you.
Okay.
So you can actually hear how hearing aids sound,
Mm-hmm. And feel.
the difference.
And of course, I think a lot of people going, oh, I don't know if I want to be walking around now. I've got this big thing hanging. There's no more big thing hanging around than anything.
You hardly even notice the hearing aids at all.
That's
You
great.
can hardly even see them. And they sound so much more natural than they used to. With technology, they're just Wonderful.
And you say they interface with different devices we have. They'll interface with your cell phone.
Correct.
They'll interface with the TV.
Correct.
So you're going to be just very comfortable. That's the best way to do it. And you have offices here in Montgomery. You're also in Phoenix City as well as Opelika. Open 5 days a week. That's all they've got to do is call and ask for that appointment to come in for the hearing test.
That is correct,
Good.
Jack.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for what you're doing, because you're bringing a whole new world of people that are losing a world. That's great. And just remember this, if you're watching Time of Your Life and you going like this on that volume, maybe it's time that you go and have a hearing test, because you want to enjoy one of the precious gifts that God gave you, your hearing. And we'll be right back right after this.